What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dylan. You're watching Western Farm Garage. Now, in today's video, we got another four-wheeler in the shop, okay? We got a 2006, I believe, Kawasaki Brute Force 650, okay? And we got some leaky seals on the front end that we're gonna dive into today. Apparently, it's been having this leak for quite a while. Yeah, I've seen a lot of dirt buildup down here. I guarantee you it's coming off of this output shaft seal, but we'll see when we get under there and get it apart. Or maybe even on this side too, got a lot of buildup over here. I don't know how well y'all can see. There's a lot of buildup in here. Just dirt and grime, and I'm hard pressed to believe that that's, oh, actually, hang on. It might be a engine oil seal. I don't know how well y'all can see that. That is a lot. That is very wet right there. See all that glisten right there on that shaft? Thinking it might be a input shaft seal, but man, it is, I mean, it is wet all over right here. Especially down there. It's pretty bad down there, but either way, the diff has to come out, and I've got a seal kit for it. But honestly, I'm not seeing a whole lot of buildup down here. I mean, I see buildup, but it's not wet. You know, like when you have an oil leak. That right there, that is usually what you see, all that shininess. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and get the front of this thing jacked up, and we're going to start tearing the front end apart. All right, guys, so no, my phone's not really wanting to focus right now, but I went ahead and checked the differential fluid, and it is it's looking a little milky in there. It's not terrible, but it definitely doesn't look like the oil that's supposed to be in it. So I'm definitely thinking we got some water mixture going on in there. Good Lord, it almost looks like freaking coolant with this light on it, good Lord. But no, that's not right. So either way, I guess we're going to be pulling out the diff, giving it a good clean, resealing it, and I guess I'll go ahead and I'll smoke test the vent lines while I'm at it, because it looks like it needs it. But it's definitely this seal down here that's leaking, not the diff. So, but either way, we're going to pull out both since I've already got it. I just got to figure out how to get this whole assembly off, because that looks very complicated. I may honestly just have to take the whole knuckle loose from the bottom and do it that way. And it's a big nut up here on top to take the shock loose. I'm really didn't want to have to do all that. I'm gonna be honest. I would have rather just left the shock in. But you know, nothing ever really goes my way, so. But to get this out is actually really simple. You just gotta take all these boots off, which I will show you guys here just now. Oh, Lord. Let's find you guys. There we go. Okay. So up here we got these rubber boots. These guys right here, there's three of them. One there in the diff, one here, and then one up against the engine. So you gotta get all those pulled back. So let me see if I can set you guys up to where y'all can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so just gotta slide these boots back like so. I mean, that one just slid off really easily. This other one over here should be about the same. They should just slide off. Yep. Okay. And now you got this one back here. And now once you've got all these boots slid off, this long piece right here will just pull back, and then you kind of gotta wiggle out the front at the same time because it's spring loaded, and now you have your front propeller shaft off, just like that. So we're gonna set that right there, and now we have access to our propeller shaft. And from everything that I've seen online, these seals on the front are actually notorious for going bad, so not much of a shock there. Leave it to Kawasaki to have a crappy seal. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna get some brake cleanup on that, and I'm gonna wipe all that off. That way it's not dirty when I go to replace it. All right, guys, this is all I've kind of got time for today, but I'll go ahead and recap what I've gotten done. So I was able to get this apart. So you got to take the brake caliper loose from the rotor. Then obviously take the axle nut off and everything. And then take the tie rod loose. And once you do that, you can literally just whack your lower A-arm and it'll just drop right out. So got that all taken care of. So now I've got, I guess I gotta go move on to the other side, because that's gonna be the next project to get this diff out. So I guess that's really all I've got time for today. I guess I can work on the other side a different day, but I will pick you guys back up when I come back. Okay, we are back. It is the next day. So right now I'm still working on this four-wheeler. Basically what we've got going on is I've got the front drive shaft seal right here for it. Also got a front differential reseal kit, which it did not come with the differential lock clutch gasket, so hopefully I don't have to replace that. But so yeah, we got to get in here and we got to get this seal out. Right there. Gotta get that seal out, and we got a couple of different seal pullers that we're gonna try out. Got both of these off of Amazon, so we're gonna see which one of these will work. I got the traditional seal puller, and then I got this one, which is like an axle or a shaft type seal puller. So I'm gonna give the shaft type one a spin first and see if that one works, and then if that one doesn't work, then we'll try to get it out with the other one, because I don't know about you guys, if you've ever tried to get seals out with a screwdriver or a pick, not the funnest time, okay? Doesn't really work too well. So hopefully one of those will give me better luck. All right, I've got this seal puller in here, and we're kind of trying to just get this little metal piece in here, but I can't really get a good place to mount it to. It's very difficult to get this to work the way I want it to, so I can't get this to line up with anything. Oh, okay, yep, there you go. Okay. Come on, man. Okay, let's see. Hey, it's actually working. So what I'm doing is I'm using the adjuster as like an adjustable pivoting point. Let's get this seal out. Yeah. Got it. That was quite easy. Okay. Got it out. Now I can go in with the new one. Take a little bit of oil right here that dripped out of this thing. Well, actually, I'll take some from the old seal. I'm gonna just take some of this oil right here, put it on my finger, and go around this new seal. That way it'll slide in a little easier. Just go in just like that. Okay. Now we're gonna see if we can just grab like a socket or something and push that in the rest of the way. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let me just take a hammer and just tap that in. I think we're good. Okay, so we're gonna go in here, our seal puller, get behind that, and just knock it out, just like that. Ooh, okay. It's looking a lot milkier than I thought it would. I really don't want to pull the diff, but I think I'm gonna have to. This thing needs to get cleaned out. It needs a full clean. Oh man, that hurts my soul. Okay, well, I guess we're pulling the diff. I really should have drained the diff before doing this, because I am just getting oil everywhere. Everywhere. But, so we got the 4x4 actuator out, sitting right there. Now we're gonna see if we can go start taking the other side apart. Oh man. Alright, we got this side tore apart. Got the axle and everything out over there. So now we're kind of in the home stretch, but I wanted to point out something that is quite important if you're kind of using this as an instructional. Where's my light? I don't know. Lord, dude, can't keep up with anything. Aside from, you know, making sure you drain your diff fluid before you do this so you don't make a mess on your floor, right here is your differential lock actuator arm right here. Make sure you mark that. That way it goes back on in the same direction that you took it off. Because if you don't, what will end up happening is you will end up, you could put it back on either too loose or too tight, and your differential actuator could not activate potentially if you do not put that back on in the correct orientation. So just take you a Sharpie and mark that. That way you know where and how to put it back on. But I gotta take this loose from the differential, then I gotta take the steering arm off of the differential, and then hopefully I can take the differential bolts off, and we can get this thing out of here and split in half so we can clean it out. Alright guys, I didn't pick up the camera for the majority of the rest of this, so I'll kind of just explain to you what I did. So I ended up having to take this lower A-arm completely off because this differential bolt right here was hitting the A-arm, so I couldn't get it out without taking the A-arm off. Side note, this is where the A-arm goes, or where the A-arm bolt is, right here. Right there, in that spot. That's where the A-arm bolt goes, so you have to actually take the skid plate loose in order to get the A-arm bolt out. And then you still kind of got to whack it out because this front bumper mount right here is kind of in the way of the bolt, so just be mindful of that. I did not have to take this top section apart at all. All I had to do was I actually had to take the tie rod ends off of here. So once I got the tie rods off, as you can see, is sitting right there, I got it off and I was able to pull this up, the steering shaft up enough to get it out of the way of the differential, and then you kind of just snake the differential out of here. It's much easier to get it out on the driver's side. If you try to get out on the passenger side, you're more than likely probably going to have to take your coolant hose off, which is not good. You don't want to do that because then you have to replace your coolant, which if you're balling on a budget, not necessarily something you want to do. So, but we got the differential out now. It's over here. So now we're going to take it outside and get it pressure washed because it is very nasty. And I don't want to, I mean, I'm going to blast it with ultrasonic cleaner anyway once I get it apart, but I'm going to have to, I want to still get all this crud off of it before I pressure wash it, so that's what we're going to be doing right now. Of course, in recording fashion, the second I try to start doing something, the GoPro dies. What I've got going on right now is I replaced the seal on this side. So funny enough, actually, this seal, which I think is the one that came with the Eastlake kit, the more expensive kit, doesn't fit, which is very odd. But it doesn't fit, it's too small. So I ended up having to use the one from the cheaper kit, but it's in there now. There's all this residual stuff, all this diesel, because what I'm doing right now is I'm flushing it out. So I am putting diesel in here and I am running it, you know, constantly with my drill. So I'm turning the differential at the same time that I am pumping diesel into it, and then I've got a hole in the bucket down there, you can see that it is constantly draining it into. So pretty much I don't see any water left in here, but kind of just give you guys an example here. So I've pretty much got it all out. I've gone through 3 bottles full of this diesel right here, so I think I've got it pretty well out. I'm kind of draining it out at different angles. That way it'll give me the best results. I've got all that diesel that was still left in there. I don't know why an engineer can never create a drain plug where it actually like drains all of the fluid inside of something. Never drains it all, ever. But looking in there, let's see. Yeah, I've got most of it out. But I'll just do it just for example purposes. So I'll turn it to where you guys can see it. So I'm running diesel into here, and at the same time I am turning it with my drill. Okay, so got pretty much that all taken care of. I think I've pretty much got all of the water out of it. So now I'm going to take some compressed air and I'm just going to blow it out. Try to get as much diesel out of it as possible. Okay, now we got our compressed air. We're just going to tip it over like this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take some 1040 ATV oil. I use this stuff because it's got a wet clutch in here for the differential lock, so we want to make sure that we use stuff that's recommended for wet clutch applications. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing I was doing with the diesel, but this time with the oil, so that way it re-lubricates everything and still rinses it out. Still draining in there. So I'm gonna let that keep draining for a minute and just kind of go over everything. So I guess while I'm waiting for that, I can smoke test the vent lines because I know that needs to get done. Got this guy. Let's see here. Smoke test the snorkel too. Probably be a good idea. I'll show you guys how I do that. Okay, got our positive and negative alligator clips. Go on here. There we go. Okay, so we got power. Now what we're gonna do is I think I'll smoke test the snorkel first. That I think will probably be the better option. So this is, yep. Okay, so we'll smoke test the air intake snorkel, which is kind of hard to do because this thing leaks like a mofo. It's not round. Also don't have much oil. got smoke now starting to come out. So I'll just take it and put it up inside the snorkel. Try to get it shoved as much in there as possible. It's gonna leak out some because it's not airtight around that face. We're basically just gonna be looking for leaks coming somewhere other than here. Seems to be holding pretty well. I don't think we got any leaks coming from there, so let's smoke test the belt box. So now we are smoke testing the belt box. That one seems to be sealing up a little better. Eventually we'll start seeing smoke rise out of this one. Down here, we got all these different places that could potentially be a leak. Grab my flashlight. We'll kind of just wait. See, we've already got it starting to come out. See that? So it's already starting to come out the other side. So basically this entire box right here is filling up with smoke. And now we just get to check all the connections under here and make sure nothing's leaking. Eventually what we'll do is we'll stuff a rag in there or something so it can kind of build pressure. Good flow coming out of there now, so what we're going to do is there we go. We'll have some blow by up here, but it's not bad. We'll still get done what we need done. Now we can just come under here and look for leaks. And I'm not seeing any. Checking the belt box, behind the belt box, where it mounts to the motor. Not seeing much. It's a good sign. Looks good all the way around the perimeter, so I think we'll call that good. Okay, so what I've got here is like a little contraption that's going to plug off the vent line, so I can see if there's any leaks in said vent line. I'm going to let it, oh, okay. So yeah, that's what happens. It'll get too much pressure. Okay, so I got all that taken apart now. Had to do that to look inside of this belt box and see why it was leaking, and I found out why. So, oh, okay. Make sure I definitely want to hang on to that. So anyway, like I was saying, get out here in the light where you can probably see a little better. So there's this guy right here, and I don't know how well you guys will be able to see that, but there's a crack in that, and it goes all the way down. And I think that is where we were taking on air or water, and we weren't, first of all, weren't running as good, and second of all, taking on water. So the second this thing got up to the belt box, it was pretty much toast. It was we're not really much saving it after that point. So but I'm gonna clean out this, obviously, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I should just fill it with silicone. It's very weird. I don't know. I have to do some digging, see if this is a common occurrence. But so actually, the carburetor vent, there's only one, and look where it goes. It goes up inside of here. So I also got to make sure that I may have to either put a longer piece of tube on there, because it attaches right there. It goes right up in the belt, into the, why do I keep saying belt box? This little vent tube goes right up into the air box. And I know that it's not airtight. So I may have to figure out a way, maybe either extend this, that way I can clamp on it and then put a vent line in it. Hopefully I can get it to where the vent line won't pinch. But yeah, I know that's not airtight, so that's also something that's got to get addressed. So we have to now, I guess, clean this out. We'll figure out how we're going to fix this vent line issue. Alright guys, so here's what I did real quick. So there was this little plastic nub that stuck up inside of the air box. Here it is right here. And it stuck up just like that, pretty much right where I've got it set right there. Took my Dremel with a cutting wheel right here, and I cut it off. Okay, now you need to just go, to fix this issue, just need to go to your local hardware store or something and get you one of these guys right here. So what this is going to do, I'm going to take my drill and drill this out to a bigger hole, preferably to match that, or at least somewhat close to it. But this thing will stick down right inside of here. I'm not sure the exact diameter. I would measure it with my calipers, but they're dead. So stick it right down in here once you've got that drilled out, and it will come down to basically right there. Okay, and then my vent line will go up the rest of the way, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this entire hole right here with silicone, all of it. I'm going to fill it all with silicone, and then I'm going to put my line back on and then see if we can potentially fix this leak. Okay, so here's what I've got. Might have went a little bit crazy with the silicone, but got this all fixed up now, and I can blow through it and I can't get any air out. So I think that's pretty good. Like I said, might have went a little crazy with the silicone, but it'd be all right. Yeah, I don't think any air is getting through that. So we're gonna let this dry for a little bit. While that's drying, oh, and I also went on, so took some rubber line right here, and I went on over the fitting, filled all that with silicone, and then I went over it with a hose clamp, and then up in here I got a brass barb fitting with another hose clamp. So this thing should not take on water anymore at all. So now we're gonna shift gears and go back to the differential. All right. Oh, we got the differential thrown back in. It is I got this other side seal put in. I find it very weird that this ring is on the outside, or the spring is on the outside, but whatever. We got it back in, so now it's just going back in and throwing everything back together. The differential is a 17 millimeter on this side and a 14 millimeter on the other. You can take that loose. Got like some, I also realized that the brake block right here, brake fluid block, attaches to the differential as well, so that's also something you got to be mindful about. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty easy. It comes right out, just, you know, got to get it all out. But that's what it looks like from this side. Got the I already went ahead and got this thrown back on, the linkage for the diff lock. So that's done now. Yeah, so now we're just Now we're just going in, throwing everything back together. Like I said, I had to take off this A-arm right here to be able to actually get the differential out. But once I got that out, it was pretty easy. So we're just gonna go back in and throw everything back together now. All right, we got the airbox and stuff thrown back on. Smoke tested it, it checked out pretty good. So that one's a win. Now we just gotta start putting some of the suspension components back together. And when you're doing it, I recommend go ahead and putting some anti-seize on your shafts and stuff. Just makes it easier if you have to take it apart again. All right, guys, we're back. It's the next week. Just got back from mowing. Started a mowing business alongside my repair business. So if you want to check out my mowing business, I got a TikTok page for it. I'll leave a link down in the description. This is the home page right here. So if you want to check that out, that'd be great. I decided to go a different route with sealing up this airbox right here. So before, I was just going to run it through the airbox like it already was. But then I got to looking on let's see, on the Kawasaki Riders forum, and shout out to this guy right here. Okay, dude's amazing. He's about the most active person on the Kawasaki forum there is. Might be the owner, honestly I don't know. But he is very good and knows a lot about Kawasaki's. And he gave me a little bit of some tips on how to get this thing sealed up. He recommended just completely bypassing the airbox entirely and just venting through the line as it is. And then, so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take the airbox and we are gonna fill this thing up with silicone. Every single orifice that does not need to be actually there, which I'm pretty sure the only one that doesn't actually need to be there, or only one that actually needs to be there is the crankcase vent. All the others get sealed up. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna fill all of it with silicone. So get this set up right here. The light on. Okay. Get the slide on. Okay. Turn to where you guys can see it a little better. So this is the rigging I did in here. That's in there. It's not gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna fill that all up with silicone. So I'm just gonna stick the hand down in there. Fill it up with silicone. I need this to be a little bit wider. It's not really putting on a whole lot of silicone. There we go. Can't really see anything. Okay, that's filled up. Go ahead and fill up all. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's see if you guys, yeah. We got Lord. There. Okay, got this one right here that we're going to completely fill in with silicone. Like that. I'll try to get some down in that hole. Just like that. Okay. Now that you got that one, you'll take this one. I'm going to see if I've got like a small piece of that tubing. I use a small piece of this and I'm going to put it on the silicone thing itself. That way I can just run it down this tube and go straight on. Well, that did not work as intended. There we go. Got that on there. Now we're gonna, oh, well, almost had it on there. Okay, we're gonna stick it on the end of there, maybe. Maybe we should get it on here first. I'm getting covered in silicone. I don't recommend doing this without gloves, because this silicone gets everywhere apparently. Okay, and now I'm just gonna fill this whole thing. see where that got me. Oh yeah, she's poking through. So now we got the bead of silicone coming out that small hole. We're just gonna seal that up completely. Even though that was literally just a drain, we're gonna seal that up anyway, just so it won't leak. Oh, we can take this guy off. Yeah, it's completely, oh good. Yeah, I also greased it, and well, now I got grease all on my shirt, right there. That's great. But now we're just gonna let this sit and dry for a while, and we'll come back and add more if need be. I think we're good though. So I'm just gonna let this dry. Take my finger and I'm just gonna run that smoothly all the way around. Like that. Okay, so got it all filled in with silicone. Stuff is oil and water resistant, so the filter oil and gasoline won't make much of a difference to the silicone. So we're gonna let that sit and dry. And we got the carburetor off as well right now, because we are going ahead and just clean it. So I took the carb off. Pretty simple, you just got to get this plastic piece out of the way. Take the battery, you don't have to take the battery completely off, just take it loose. You can pull it to the side. So we got it in the ultrasonic cleaner right now. It's doing its magic. It's kind of murky in there, but now we're gonna get back to working on diff. And I still have to put the tie rods back on, and then once I get the tie rods on, I gotta mount the brake back in up here. Gotta get the brake back in, and then get the steering shaft bolted back down, and then we should be on our way to getting this front end put back together. So I'm gonna keep working on this. I'll pick you guys back up in a second. Sorry guys, I know it's really loud. I got a fan going and everything, but we're replacing the cotter pins under here as well. So all cotter pins are getting replaced. You probably want to replace these every single time because they are such a pain to get out, and you mangle them so much it hurts the integrity. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna put all new cotter pins in everything that has one. Sorry guys, I'm kind of getting carried away with working on this. I'm not really showing you guys a whole lot, but got this side all dollied up and put back together. Brake caliper on, new cotter pins like I said. Axle got put back in. Axles are kind of a pain to put in on this one. They don't really slide very well because you got, especially on the diff lock side, you got to line up that collar, so you don't really have much sliding force. So what I had to do is I had to put the axle nut on and then tap it in with a hammer. Got this tie rod all buttoned up, put back in, got this plastic shroud put back in. So before I go work on the other side, I'm working on fully cleaning this carb right here, okay? And well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Now the only thing I will say is that, at least I don't know if this way on the 650, but I know on the 750, the front and rear cylinder carbs had two different size jets. So the reason I am doing it this way particularly is so I don't mix up the jets. It just makes it easier. So I'm doing it literally one at a time. So I shoot some carb clean down in the jet, and I take my compressed air. Get that jet tight back in there. Now we'll work on the other side. So I just finished up this entire one. The only two jets that are actually removable are this one. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see. This one and the middle one right here. This one off to the side, closest to the fuel intake, is fixed. It does not come out. I already did the main jet on this side, so now we're going to move over to this side. Be very easy with these jets. They're brass and they will strip, so you don't want to
Definitely don't want to strip them, and then that's just going to create a world of pain for you. All these jets should be clean. I'll go ahead and shoot some in it anyway, especially this one. Okay, like I said, all of them should be very clean. They went through the ultrasonic cleaner, so there shouldn't be any issues with them. But just to be sure, go ahead and shoot them with some carb clean. Okay, shoot some carb clean down in it as well. Take your air nozzle and also, one way to tell if your whatchamacallit, your diaphragm is sealed up, if you can shoot air in it and your slide comes up. So now we're going to go back in with the floats. This carburetor is a very weird design because it's like sideways. I've never really seen one on a four-wheeler like this before. That's seated. Screw in. Okay. Alright. Bowls are back in, or the floats I mean. Now I gotta put the bowls back on. I don't really think it matters which bowl goes where. Both carb is set up the exact same. I need to just order like a pack of carburetor screws for how many times I strip one of these things out. Oh, missed one. Okay. Now I need to look up the carburetor adjustment. Alright, we're back. I know I kind of skipped a lot. I apologize for that, but I got the carburetor put back on and everything. It's all buttoned up. I got the vent line reran. I let the silicone, even though it is 90-minute silicone, I still gave it 24 hours to completely dry because, well, you can never just be too careful. So now I'm just throwing everything back together and getting close to getting the front put back on, all put back together. I'm just going to work on the passenger side. Okay. But other than that, we're in the home stretch finally. Got this side pretty much, it's all put back together. It's just the wheels got to go back on. So now I just got to get this side put back together, which shouldn't take me very long. Just got to get all this buttoned up, back up, all that down there. Got to get the tie rod put back on, axle put back in. Actually, the axle's got to go in first, and then button all this up. So axle, then put your knuckle in the lower A-arm, which I still have the lower A-arm bolt right there that I got to put back in. And then once I get that done, then put the tie rod in, and then brake caliper, or the brake rotor, brake caliper. That should be it. I should be able to get it all put back together probably here in the next, probably take me about 15-20 minutes or so. But that is how you take the differential out of a 2000, or basically any brute force 650, other than the eyes, because the 650 eyes are set up the same way the 750s are, and I think they're a little different as far as the front end is concerned. Maybe not, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I'm going to throw all this back together real quick, like that. Okay, we got this put back together now. Everything's buttoned up, new cotter pins, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and lower it a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the diff. Got the drive line put back in as well. So I'll lower this down real quick. I'm gonna fill up the diff, and then we will tighten that back up and put the wheels on, because that is, this plastic cover right here. But I'll do that after I fill the diff because it's kind of in my way. So I'm gonna fill the diff real quick, put this plastic cover back on, and then we'll get everything else tidied back up. And then we'll be ready to ride this thing and make sure everything looks good and sounds good. All right, guys, as you can see, we got it out of the shop. It's running. Sorry, this has kind of been like a all over the place kind of video. This video, I mean, has been filmed over the course of 3 weeks. So, I mean, it has kind of, you know, been hard to capture everything, especially when I'm trying to get this done. But here it is. It runs pretty dang good too. Idle's nice. I've been riding it around. As you can see, the radiator fan just kicked on. I mean, yeah, it's running pretty good. I will say it does kind of have like a sluggish feel. Like I can't get it to wheelie, which I don't know if that's just because it's a 650. I mean, it just has a really slug throttle, and I mean I've cleaned out the entire carburetor, readjusted the jets, and it's just got that slug to it. After you get through that slug, it boot scoots and boogies. But I mean, I don't know, I guess it's just that slug. Might just be a 650 thing, because I know I was able to get my brute force to wheelie. Now I will say I really was only able to get my brute force to wheelie on the smaller tires, which are actually smaller than these that are on this one. So but yeah, I mean, it's pretty dang good, honestly. Sitting here idling no problem, running like a top. So we'll go ahead and go get it put on the trailer. I'll take you guys with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna get this thing loaded up on the trailer. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Let me know what you liked about the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.